Sorry guys, I did this again. Alright, you come back in here later on again. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. My name is Hunter Stone. This is Speech 4, and I'm going to be talking about something good today. What does April 15th mean to you guys? Tax Day. There we go. Thank you very much. Not too hard. Yeah, everybody's doing taxes. I don't know anybody that loves doing taxes except for the accountants, but they don't matter. Anyways, how would you like to keep your whole paycheck? You make $50,000 a year. You keep $50,000 a year. I think it sounds like a pretty good idea. And that's what we'll be talking about today. Replacing the current tax code with a national retail sales tax. In 2005, the entire tax code, including regulations, was 9 million words. The Bible, on the other hand, 774,000 words. Quite a discrepancy between the two of them. Something's not right there. Something doesn't add up. And that was 5 years ago. It just doesn't make any sense. So you're asking yourself, okay, that's a good idea, Hunter, but how does it work? What's wrong with the current tax system? Why are we going to change it? We're going to change it because, one, it's too darn confusing. Tax laws and codes tend to be complicated with rules and guidelines that seem contradictory. Not to mention they're constantly changing. They're not constant all the time. When a new law passes, it has a chance that it'll affect the current tax laws. And that was 5 years ago, 9 million words. Imagine with the new healthcare law, imagine how many words that added on to the current tax code. According to the IRS, more than $3.5 billion in taxes is owed by 500,000 federal employees. 3.5 billion, 500,000 federal employees. 1,000 of those 500,000 work at the U.S. Capitol. And we expect them, who owe the taxes, to legislate laws that regulate taxes on our behalf. Yet they're the ones paying. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just if it's too confusing for them, how is it going to be confusing for us? Current tax code is unfair. Current administration talks about fairness. I ask you, what's fair about businesses being taxed twice? Not once, but twice. One on the income they make, another one on the dividends that they have. The dividends they distribute to their shareholders, like myself, they get taxed as well. So that's twice they get taxed. And as a shareholder, I get taxed when I file my income tax return April 15th. It just doesn't seem fair at all. So instead of the current system, let's go with an alternative. It's called the fair tax. It's a national retail sales tax. What it does, I'll highlight very briefly what it does. It abolishes the IRS. So all those employees, that federal bureaucracy is gone. The money we save is $11 billion a year. That money can be put towards anything. It's not a bad deal. The retail sales tax is 23%, but it's inclusive. It's embedded in the product that you're going to buy. Go out and buy this nice Samsung here. Guess what? It says $1,000 on the tag. You're going to pay $1,000 on it. Nothing extra, except for the state sales tax. But on the federal level, nothing more. That 23% is already embedded in the product that you're going to buy. How is it better than our current system? It's better because it brings transparency and accountability to tax policy. No more lobbyists in Washington. No more lobbyists, which is nice. No more behind the screen shenanigans. No more backdoor deals, in other words. Everything is right there for you to see on your tax receipt or your receipt from buying your goods. Small business owners who get taxed on the individual tax returns won't get taxed on the individual tax returns with the fair tax. Saves them money, saves their employees money. It's not a bad deal at all. It's better than our current income tax because the current system makes it impossible or hard, not impossible, but hard for our businesses to compete in the international marketplace. Our corporate tax rate is 40%, second highest in the industrialized world. So GM and Ford, who make billions of dollars a year, 40% of the money they make, 40% of the dollar, goes to Uncle Sam. That just doesn't seem fair to me. Will it work? Yes, it will. Texas and Florida are examples. Florida has no state income tax, and they rely mostly on sales taxes for their incomes, for their revenues. Forbes.com did a study where, over the past decade, 1.5 million Californians left California, migrated away. Used to be they migrated to California, Hollywood Hills, palm trees, beaches, sunshine. Not anymore. They're moving away. They're moving away to Texas and Florida. 800,000 of them moved to Texas in the past decade, strictly from California. So we've seen sort of how the current tax system is unfair, it's confusing, and that a fair tax, a retail sales tax, would be a viable option. I'm asking the American public to join with me. Fight. It's a good fight. Non-violent fight. Let's abolish the current income tax. Get rid of your W-2s. Get rid of your W-4s. Get rid of the 1099s. Think of all the paperwork we'll save. No more cutting down trees for paper for 1099 forms. No more cutting down trees for W-2s. A one-time retail sales tax on every good and service that you purchase. That's it. Can't get much easier than that. Thank you very much.
Yay.